Good afternoon, everyone. Today's the 16th of April, Wednesday. This is Brad Matheny. This is kind of an afternoon update related to the markets. This is the QQQ chart. I do believe we are still in a moderate uptrend. Let me see if I can come over here and show you why I believe we're in a moderate uptrend. These are some of my custom indexes. And what I want to show you is not there, not there, not there, right here. No. How do I get rid of that? Okay, I guess I get rid of that. There we go. This is my volatility index, and my volatility index last week ended very low with a lot of accumulation. And staying down in this very low level is highly unlikely for very long. You can see back over here at the end of 2022, we had a couple of weeks staying fairly low in a downtrend. I had expected a bit of a recovery back to the upside. Now, understand that we also had the rolling stock market trend back up into this area. So stalling kind of up into this area after this big recovery. Now, understand that I do still believe that the tariffs are going to create some pressure, but understand that stalling in this area really is, in my opinion, highly likely, which is where we're at. Pushing back up a little higher, stalling in this area, I believe, is very, very likely, considering this is really an intermediate level of support, this channel from roughly here to here, all the way up. We will get a breakdown into May. We will likely rally back out, and we will get a breakdown into July. So understand that, we're not out of the woods as far as a downturn yet, but I still do believe that we've got a moderate upward support level channeling. We also have the smart money index rolled into this middle trending area to the upside. Now, could weaken back down, which is likely what's happening right now, but this is typically trending. And when you get in the middle of this channel here, this is trending. Up normally means to the upside. So we had a good rally here. We could be just weakening through the first couple of days of this week and moving into a rally towards potentially the end of this week into early next week. We also had very strong accumulation of the US dollar. Again, this is a good indication that the weakening dollar is sucking up quite a bit of money through foreign investment and foreign capital flooding into the US market, trying to buy into this dip. And then lastly, I'll just try to show you that we had moved, or maybe two, we had moved into this lower channel here for the custom market rotation index. This is a monthly chart. I do believe this is kind of an exhaustion low. We may be setting up a secondary exhaustion low over here in May, deeply into the July. So kind of like this with an exhaustion low and maybe another one out over here. But I do believe we're going to maybe move back up into this area and consolidate as we continue to roll forward. So lastly, I'm going to come over here and show you the fact that we find them. There we go, out here at the end. So we are under the major global index. We're hovering up here near this high. And technically we are flagging. So you can see this, and we're getting ready for a pretty good bump. Okay, and now we're going to run into some volatility, but you can see across these lows, we're kind of flagging this way, and across these highs down into this area. So we are likely going to move A, B, C, D, and then we may get a little bump to the upside. How is that going to work out? That's going to basically be this rotation here with volatility, maybe a false low move into the May low, and then I think we're going to get a kind of a rally move back up the outside. What that's going to mean is that tariffs are going to work themselves out. I'm not going to speculate on how, but they're going to work themselves out, and the globe is going to get back to moving and trending. And then lastly, I want you to see here, this large cap index is doing the same thing. Again, this is monthly, and I want you to be aware that we're moving into that same type of sideways flagging across these highs. And you can see we have this A, B, C, D moving into maybe volatility before we get the upside move. So I do believe that we're looking at, a pretty good move. If we were to get a breakdown, you understand that we would end up back between this low on this monthly chart, this 2022 low, up to roughly the 2024 highs. And that would mean that, if we come back over here on this, I'll go to weekly. If we go to that 2022 low back over here and use a Fibonacci level, we're already right in this area, kind of setting up that deep, deep low right in this 5-0 level, roughly to here, which is, again, why I think that, unless we get some big breakdown, which is that July and October low, I think we're going to stay kind of up in, this area or this upper area on the QQQ, and that's pretty much where we're going to stay. Now, I think we could push a little higher here. That's why I've drawn these boxes. These are my idea for where I think price is going to stay or try to stay in between these red boxes right here. This is the gap window. And the gap window, I think we're going to just basically be rolling into this cycle, trying to maybe break out, back down. We're going to get that type of a rolling trend until we move into that May low. And that May low will probably be down for the QQQ around 410. So same thing over here with the SPY. We've got a lot of data here. Let me get rid of some of this junk. It's not junk. It's just I want you to be able to see it clearly. So we'll get rid of that. We'll keep that. We'll get rid of that. We'll keep that. We'll get rid of this purple. And here we have the two gaps. I'll make this red. And so you can see where we're at. And here we go all the way back to the Fibonacci levels from the 2022 lows. And we come from here up to here. I'll find the high as I get closer. There we are. That's it. And then that puts us at the 5-0 and 618 level or 382 level right in here. And then we have a secondary one right up here, which is right where we're at right now, guys. So pretty much, this is the range. And you can see that we've got that range right between this area. That's the 25% to 382 level, and this is the 382 to 50 level. So you can see how we're potentially moving through these cycles. Like I said, I'm showing you why I believe the markets are moving up. And I've highlighted this last week. I did a video about it showing my custom indexes, which, this is what I do behind the scenes. All of this stuff is what I do behind the scenes that keeps me informed, tells me what's happening. Of course, there's a lot more to it than just this, but, the data tells me what's happening. And this is all part of, what I do for my subscribers. Keeps me very informed, tells me what's going on, and tells me what to expect. So today, we had a big pullback. I think it's more about news and earnings than it is about data. I think data wise, I think mechanically, structurally, I think the market's still in this movement up into this pullback of this bearish trend. I still think we're looking at a movement up to 550, 560. And I wouldn't be surprised if that happens by, middle end of next week. And then we get a very solid sell off. This actual bottom comes in around May 5th. You can see it right here. Oops, right here. So this actual bottom, sorry, May 2nd, right here. And you can see we get a top. So we get this into this movement here. We're getting very close. So we get a major bottom and a peak on the 14th. That was a couple days ago. We get a topping pattern on the 18th. We get a base pattern on the 25th. We get a topping pattern on the 30th. And then we get a major bottom here on May 2nd. And what I'm telling you here is these are big rotations. Rotation, 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 rotation. So 14th, day before tax time, peak bottom pattern. 18th is a top, 25th is a base. Look at these patterns here. This is our day before, top, bottom, setting up, rolling. We broke down below it. Yeah, I mean, it does look like we're going to try to come back down here. I wouldn't be surprised if we found support, rolled back to the upside. But we still have these rolling cycle patterns going forward, these top bottoms into this major bottom. Then look, we have pretty much nothing until we get to a topping pattern over here on the 24th. Then we move into these big breakdown patterns here on the 25th and June 6th. Then eventually we end up in the July lows. So these could be big rolling sideways trends, which is what I'm showing you here. If I tell you what I think is going to happen, it's this green line. So I'll show you right here. This is what I think is most likely, down to these lows, back up to these highs potentially, and then rolling down into the July low. So again, we'll see how it plays out, but I just wanted to give you guys an update. My analysis doesn't change because the market does something like this. We're still setting up these same excess phase peak patterns. We're rolling into a cradle pattern. The cradle pattern would look something like this: down, up, like this. Then we would have a low down here, which would be our breakaway low, and we would have a high up here, which would be our breakaway high. So we're rolling into this pattern very cleanly, still in an uptrend, likely to find the top around the 25th or the 28th, 29th, maybe 24th, 25th, 28th, 29th, up in this area trying to find a top, and then roll sharply down into this area around May 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, I think. We'll see how it goes. Okay, gold and silver, huge move. Looking for a little consolidation here in gold. Maybe not going to get it. This is a big move, likely prompted by China. And silver, silver found the 33 level, stalled. This is going to be essentially a nice little roll for silver. Okay, I'll get rid of that and get rid of this and actually draw a line because it's that important. 32, 33. So that silver level. All right, it won't let me do it. That silver level 33. When silver gets above that silver level, I'm telling you guys, this is going to be very, very explosive. Okay, so I know many of you don't believe, but many of my followers and subscribers are writing me every day about how metals are saving them. One guy wrote me today and told me he made over 200% on a short-term trade in gold over the last 4 days, and he's loving it. He said he hasn't seen too many 200% plus trades in his lifetime or recently. But diversifying and taking some of these longer term swings, especially like this big move here in metals and gold, I've got same silver positions. Actually, I'm probably a little bit equal weighted, gold and silver and miners. But this is a great move. I mean, my account was up, over $2,500 today, which is very nice. Just sitting here letting these trades continue. So we'll see how it plays out. But remember, next move here for gold is going to be in this 35 to 3600 area. So really, kind of right up in this area. And next move for silver is going to be, as you don't already know, this 34.50, 35 area. And then higher. I really do still believe that this 40 to 44 area right in here, 41 to 44, this is really where silver wants to go, in my opinion. So we'll see how it plays out. Otherwise, things are playing out pretty good. I expected a bit of a pause today. Didn't really happen in gold. Did happen in silver. I figured once we got past this 3,300 level, we'd stall a little bit. It did pre-market, but this then became, buyers. Buyers are really chasing this rally because, you look at this and no matter how you slice it, guys, this is a parabolic move. Okay. This is really a parabolic move in gold. Coming down off of these lows in 2024 up into this area, and then pretty much straight up from below 3 grand to 3,300. We've rallied 10% in literally a month, less than a month. This is a very big move, and it's probably going to just continue. So, okay, I'm going to leave it there, let you guys go. It's Taco Wednesday night out here for me, so I'm going to go to my favorite little tacos place and get some tacos and call it good. So, I'll talk to you guys later. Go ahead, remember, get some. Play this market while you can. This is the biggest opportunity of your life. I actually created a video about that on TradingView. Called it the greatest opportunity of your life. I did it about 4 years ago, telling you that the next 5 to 10 years are going to be an incredible opportunity for skilled traders. Now, if you want to know why, you're seeing why. The markets are in turmoil. We've got President Trump in, levies, tariffs, this is it. You're getting big swings. I mean, we just had a 12% move in the SPY last week. A couple of big moves in the SPY last week. Never before in my lifetime have I seen a 12% move. Never to the upside. So understand, guys, that we're really in the biggest opportunity of our life, and we need to be prepared for this and trade it as efficiently as we can. And that's all I'm going to tell you. All right. I will talk to you in the morning. Talk to you later.